Hi everyone. I'm just popping on here for a good few minutes, just to speak about the floodings in Kentucky and what we can do to help out the people that are there, and also the Summer Wells case. I have several messages from one single person that states, it's so devastated down there. And I mean, people are messaging me. The amount of devastation caused from the flooding is very, very, very severe. And there are people that are sleeping in tents. There are people who don't have any place to sleep, anything to eat, nothing to wear. And that goes for the animals as well. They've lost loved ones. It's completely and utterly devastated. I'm asking that people really do take the time and watch this video and reach out to whoever you can in Kentucky to help these people, because I advocate for Kentucky. The state of Kentucky is not only a resilient state, but the amount of devastation that's constantly happening down there. Tornadoes, floods, I mean, that's everywhere, yes, but when I see devastation happen, I also post about it, because we could be helping one another doing social media posts. I think that's a very important thing, because the Kentucky floods have been on mainstream media for probably like a good 5 minutes or so. And then it went to the just a local, and now there's nothing. I have so many people that message me and talk about the devastation and what's happening down there, and how many volunteers that have come there to help, how many people that are helping out. So like I said, Kentucky is resilient. They sincerely do stick together. So that's a wonderful thing to experience, everybody coming together. I do hope that people reach out and they do donate in some way, time, food, money, effort, anything that matters. These people need help. So please reach out to Kentucky, or whoever it is that you reach out to, and help them, okay? Excuse me, I have to get a drink. Now, on to the Summer Wells case. I have tried to get a fix, and that means, when I say a fix, I've never had this much of an issue trying to reach out to a child spirit. So, at first, I thought it was very odd that, well, first of all, let me say I had spoke to Rose Bly. She has passed on. She explained to me what had happened to her, and she also said who did it. I'm not going to cause more media frenzy for that. I do want to state that she stated that they do know full well where she is. In the beginning, I had thought it was strange that I couldn't get a fix on her, by meaning her energy would pop in and pop out. So I can sense the living, and I also can sense the passed on. So when I get things more so, I will get that they're passed on. Summer is like stuck with me, because at first, like I said, it didn't feel like she was gone. It was very off to me. It almost felt like before I did the spirit session, I heard the word rock. So I implemented that into my session, as in, I got the feeling that she could have drowned. She could have hit her head on a rock. But then when I went into spirit form, what came through was, it was very confusing. It was very off. It felt very undetermined to me. It almost felt like she was still alive. I was picking up on her energy while she was alive. I would get her birds flocking to my house. It was very strange. I'm going to try to reach out one more time, because when I have reached out to Summer, she might not have been passed on. There's also a feeling that she might have been trafficked in a way, because that also came through. I also picked up symbols in my readings, and someone also stated to me that that has to do with something as well. The word grace keeps coming through Summer's case, and this has to either be a passed on guardian that is watching over her, in the sense of if she's passed on and she's stuck, that guardian is with her, or this woman Grace could be the one involved in her case. So I need to get more in depth with it. I also spoke to Rose Bly. She actually came through the very last time that I tried to speak to Summer. Summer keeps showing me, now I could be picking up on Summer's residual energy, which is prior to, which is passed on, or I'm picking up a psychic impression of the overlay of a memory she had. It's like walking the land, and like when I walk someone's home or their land, I pick up memories of things that happened in the house, what has happened on the property, things of such nature. When I try to pull Summer into me, her energy, I get this strange feel, and I have a very strange, she's there very, very, very short periods of time. So to say she's passed on, I felt very confused of, she would take me by the hand and say, come play with me. Now, is that a memory, or is that an actual spirit form? I was very on the outs with that, very in between. It was very confusing. And then when Summer's aunt had come through, I had spoken to her, and I had asked her what had happened to her first, so I could get a thought process of her whereabouts. If we could find her, we could find Summer, kind of like literally a double whammy. And she had told me that, I'm going to be blunt as I can without too much here. She told me that one of her family members had asked her for money, and it was for drugs. And she had said no. And she had taken her life for that. And then the whole asking her what happened to Summer, she had stated clear and loud and clear to me that her mother and father know exactly what happened to her. Now, do not take this and seek them out and cause issues. I'm saying stated what is in spirit form, what as I usually state in spirit form when I speak to a passed on person. And when I had asked Rose, was Summer passed on, it became quiet, which usually gives me a sense of, when a spirit goes quiet, that's usually an answer for no, or they blatantly just say no. But some, it's like an in-between. So my thought process on this is, Summer was alive, but no longer is, or Summer is alive. I need to get a fix on her long enough for her to speak with me if she's passed on. If she's passed on, she will speak with me, because I have never had an issue with a spirit like this before. So the other reason could be is I'm only picking up residual energy prior to her memories. Residual energy is in, I shouldn't use residual energy. Residual energy is used in paranormal terms. Residual energy is not something I should say. So if I'm picking up a psychic impression, then that tells me I'm picking up something prior to what happened to Summer, as in a memory of her telling somebody, come play with me. But when I see her, she automatically runs up to me and takes me by the hand and says, come follow me. We're going to come up here. We're going to come play. And I see as we're going up an incline of some sort, a hill or I would say a hill, basically, because to me that would have looked like to me as a hill. And it's a very confusing feel. I've never had a problem like this before. So I am going to try one more time. Rose Bly is passed on, and she is literally helping me in so many ways as best as she can. So I'm going to speak with Rose more and see if Summer is passed on, can she guide her to me? Because Summer, you know, she's so, I'd like to say wild and free, because Summer had that, there just wasn't too much parenting going on at all. So the little girl is so, she's so just everywhere, mentally mostly too. And it's very hard to get a fix on her, because when you call her over, it's, come play with me. And that's all she says. She wants to play. She was a very happy little girl, even though the horrible life she lived. So I'm going to try my best this week to get into more detail. If I can't get her to come through, I'm going to speak with Rose Bly one more time. And I need to make sure what I'm feeling is correct here, because I have a very distinguished feeling that what the media portrays about Summer is not exactly what exactly is happening here. In the terms of, excuse me, I'm just going to turn my AC off. In the terms of, what I mean by that is, they portray her as missing and they're looking for a body. But my thought process is, if I can't get a hold of Summer by the end of the week and her aunt comes through again and tells me different, we're not looking for a body, we're looking for a child still. So I need to make sure I know what I'm feeling here, because spirit form and your feelings you need to pay attention to, because if you're feeling something different versus what spirit form tells you, then what you feel can be somewhat accurate, but if they tell you otherwise, there's a reason why you're not picking that up. But I've never had an issue with not being able to pick up a child in spirit form. Summer, I'm having very much so. She's very quick. She's about maybe possibly a minute, close to, and that's it. There's nothing more. And oddly, I think that Summer needs clearly her aunt to come through for her if she's passed on, because Summer's not interested in speaking. She just wants to play. Or that's my psychic overlay of her. And it's a very strange feel. It's almost like Summer's alive to me. And that's what I feel. And that's the odd part about it, because when I picked up my first video about her, I heard the word rock. I heard the word, I seen people all around her. And it was very funny to feel, because it felt predatorial. And so I'm going to try to go back, and I'm going to try to go connect with her one more time, because if I don't connect with her, I need to see what that means. I have to speak with Rose Bly, because I think Rose and whoever this Grace is are the ones coming through for Candace. The word Candace is being said. And then the word Rose Bly. Well, we'll have to see about that. I'm being told something else about Summer. Okay. So I'm going to try this one more time, and I will release my findings. If Summer's passed on, I will do my best to speak to the correct people, because from what I'm being told, they do not want a psychic or a medium's input in the case, which I think is very strange if you have not found that child yet. So I'm going to do what I can on my part, but after that, if no one wants to listen, then I cannot help any longer because I can't delay Michael's case. And to the two people that have, put out there about Michael, what's going on with you're not his family. I don't discuss that with you. And that's not being rude, but everybody knows me. I will not speak about the case in a way to the people that has nothing to do with Michael. So there's a female here. I'm assuming this is Rose. See, I always hear the word Candace knows. Candace knows. I see the word, not the word, excuse me. I see, what is this that you're showing me, dear? I suppose I wouldn't call this a sidewalk. I would call this maybe a driveway. A driveway of some sort, but I'm just seeing a driveway. Now, what does that represent? Are you saying to me that I'm Rose, or are you talking about a different person? Or rose, as in rose up? I'm kind of confused here. Are you telling me that you're under some form of... Are you telling me you're like buried under cement, like driveway type? Candace Rose. Okay, dear. What we're going to do is we're going to carry this on after I shut this off because I want to keep anything personal as possible for right now, okay? Okay. And as you can see, I keep getting this female that speaks, and her name is Rose. Not Rose, excuse me, I'm Rose, duh. Excuse me, that's not what I meant. She's speaking of the word rose, and I'm getting the sense that when the aunt comes through, she does a lot of talking, and I don't get a connection with Summer. And that for me is not, that just doesn't happen. So I need to go into more detail with her so I can become more aware of what I need to ask Rose, because Summer is not. And it could also go back to Summer not being mentally capable either. Summer reminds me of a very playful child, but all she sees around her is she just plays. She doesn't see the importance of, she's very attached. She doesn't have the guidance, I guess you could say, in a sense, to where she would find something important, because all she wants to do is play, because that's what they would want him. They would want her to have more or less been out of their way. Go off and play, leave me alone, that type of feel. So I'm going to leave this here. I'm going to leave this here. I'm going to try to connect to Summer one more time this week, and if I can't get a fix, I will try to call somebody about Rose Bly and see what we can make of that. And for me, after that, I need to go back to Michael, because as I stated before, this was only going to be I was only going to try this once, but being that I have not connected to Summer, I wanted to make sure that I could before I made my findings. So everybody have a good afternoon, and I will be doing a live eventually very soon. I usually do them as a gift for a lot of people, because a lot of people are on long waiting lists. So I usually try to do a live for people to come through for their loved ones. So I will post on my Facebook, and I will get back to everyone about that date, okay? Okay, so I'm going to go try to get some information here from Rose Bly, and then I will get back with everybody soon. Okay? Everybody have a great week and be safe.